Instrument Spirit Eating Melons, The Road to Rebirth of Spiritual Fire. Chapter 1 The Overtime Dog That Died Suddenly. Ling Xiao was originally just an ordinary worker, working overtime until 3 o'clock in the morning every day, and finally fell headlong in front of the computer. When she opened her eyes again, there was darkness all around, and her body turned into a glimmer of light, suspended in an ancient sword. She was stunned for a long time until a cold voice sounded in her ears, "Welcome to become a new spirit, please try to survive." Ling Xiao roared, "I refuse. I want to go back. The system is not in a hurry, find the Sun of Luck and absorb the energy of luck to reshape the human body." Ling Xiao just wanted to ask for details, but a line of big characters popped up on the interface, golden finger loading successful, 100% melon eating function. Ling Xiao? Underscore 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 un. Chapter 2 The melon eating function is activated. That night, the rivers and lakes outside the scabbard suddenly became noisy. Ling Xiao accidentally triggered the skill and immediately captured a barrage of all over the screen. The head of a certain sect eloped with the little junior sister. The sect's treasure house was stolen, and the inner mole was among the elders. Ling Xiao was stunned. It turned out that her golden finger could spy on the truth of gossip. What's even more outrageous is that as long as she succeeds in eating melons, she can get energy points. She instantly became excited. It turns out that you can also cultivate immortality by eating melons. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 3 The First Appearance of the Son of Luck. The Sword Master is a 16-year-old boy named Shen Viang. This son is elegant but honest, but he can always turn danger into safety in the chaos. Ling Xiao stared at him, and the system's prompt flashed indeed, "The Son of Luck has been detected." Ling Xiao smiled secretly, "Good guy, this melon is about to be settled." However, at this moment, in the sect where Shen Viang belonged, there was a sudden news of the disappearance of a disciple, and an undercurrent surged. Ling Xiao's melon-eating skill was immediately captured. The missing disciple is actually the daughter of the leader who has a crush on her, and she accidentally broke into the Forbidden Land. Ling Xiao Le, it's so exciting. She began to silently record every gossip, and the energy bar rose steadily. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 4 The Forbidden Land is terrified. Shen Viang was ordered to enter the forbidden area to look for people, and Ling Xiao was also forced to accompany him. The Forbidden Land is eerie and strange, and resentful spirits are entangled. Ling Xiao experienced the powerlessness of the instrument spirit for the first time, but she also saw more gossip in critical moments. The leader once sealed the demon fetus here. The seal has long been loosened, and the demon fetus will be born. Ling Xiao was shocked and couldn't help but pass the information to Shen Viang. Although the young man was shocked, he used his wit to ignite the magic circle and temporarily suppress the seal. Ling Xiao's heart was shocked. This guy is really full of luck. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 5 The Beginning of Chaos in the Rivers and Lakes. The news of the seal change was quickly leaked, and all forces in the rivers and lakes were eyeing the sect. Although Shen Viang is a son of luck, he has been pushed to the forefront. Ling Xiao's melon-eating function is full of screens at this time. A certain elder secretly colluded with the enemy country. The sect competition will be manipulated. The power of the demon fetus may have penetrated into the upper echelons. Ling Xiao couldn't help but scold, this sect is really a big melon field. While giving advice to Shen Viang, she saved energy and secretly calculated the hope of reshaping her body. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 6 Dabi Fenjiun. The sect competition, all the disciples gathered. Shen Viang's original strength was mediocre, but under Ling Xiao's secret reminder, he broke his opponent in a row. But in the last battle, he faced the strongest genius Ji Suan Li. Ji Suan Li's momentum was like a rainbow, and the blade of the sword was sharp. Just when everyone thought that Shen Viang would be defeated, Ling Xiao caught a melon. Ji Suan Li secretly took a banned drug, and the spiritual veins in his body were unstable. Ling Xiao immediately reminded Shen Viang that the young man took the opportunity to make a move, and sure enough, he turned defeat into victory. The audience was in an uproar. The energy bar jumped wildly again, and Ling Xiao's heart was secretly refreshed. Eating melons is so fragrant. Chapter 7 The Mysterious Visitor. At night, a mysterious masked figure sneaks into the sect and heads straight for Shen Viang. Ling Xiao catches the gossip. The masked figure is actually a princess from an enemy country, and she has a future marriage with Shen Viang. Ling Xiao almost laughed. This plot is too bloody. But she couldn't do anything but watch the princess leave the token and leave. Shen Viang didn't know it, but Ling Xiao had secretly felt that there would be more trouble in the future. Chapter 8 The First Movement of the Demon Fetus. The Forbidden Land shook again, and the seal crack widened. The barrage captured by Ling Xiao's screen is full of warnings. The demon fetus will be broken within 7 days. She was so anxious that she spun around in the sword, but she couldn't do it herself. After Shen Viang noticed it, he clenched his long sword and said softly, "I don't know who you are, but I am willing to believe you." Ling Xiao was stunned, and for the first time an inexplicable throbbing arose in her heart. This silly boy actually trusted a sword. Chapter 9 The 7-Day Storm. The 7-day countdown is in panic. All factions are ready to move, and the undercurrent is turbulent. Eating melons in the middle of the night. A certain sect has secretly sent troops to lurk at the foot of the mountain. The demon fetus is actually the son of the ancient demon god. If the seal is broken, the entire continent will fall into a sea of blood. Ling Xiao's heart was cold. This game was no longer an internal strife in the sect, but a calamity in the entire world. But she had to follow Shen Viang step by step towards the core of the storm. Chapter 10 The Demon Fetus Breaks the Seal. The war broke out. The blood mist filled the air, and the demon fetus turned into a 1,000-foot giant shadow, roaring and shaking the sky. The elders of the sect fell one after another, and the disciples scattered and fled. Shen Viang was covered in blood and stood alone in front of him. Ling Xiao screamed in a hurry, and suddenly, the energy bar in her body flashed wildly, breaking through the critical point. She felt a force condensing and the spiritual fire burning, as if to turn her from a vessel spirit into a human form. Just as the giant palm of the demon fetus fell, a clear woman's voice resounded on the battlefield. "I've had enough of eating melons, it's time for me to play." Everyone was stunned, only to see the ancient sword crack, and a beautiful woman came out of the flames. Her eyes were cold and scorching. Ling Xiao's rebirth returned. Chapter 11 The Initial Form of Spiritual Fire. The figure of Ling Xiao's rebirth from the ashes stunned everyone. She waved her palm out, and the flames turned into a long river, forcing the demon fetus to be expelled. Shen Viang was stunned for a moment, but immediately drew his sword and followed, and the two fought side by side. Ling Xiao was finally able to kill the enemy with her own hands, and an indescribable sense of pleasure welled up in her heart. However, the demon fetus burst into thousands of resentful spirits in the roar and swept through the 4 fields. This war has just begun. Chapter 12 All living beings retreat. The resentful spirits were raging, and the disciples of the sect scattered and fled. The head was seriously injured and the elders were lost. Shen Viang desperately supported it, but Ling Xiao's spiritual fire became more and more intense. At this moment, the system in her mind suddenly sounded, "Tips, the melon-eating mode has been upgraded, and you can peek into the direction of fate." Ling Xiao was stunned, and countless clues appeared on the interface in an instant: who will live, who will die, and who will betray. She took a deep breath and finally realized that this chaos was not just a demon fetus, but a wrestling of fate. Chapter 13 The Shock of the Rivers and Lakes. The news that the demon fetus was cut off spread all over the world. The major forces began to pay attention to this mysterious woman named Ling Xiao and the young Shen Viang beside her. Some people say that she is the reincarnation of a goddess, some say that she is a demon fetus transformation, and some people say that she is actually a demon spirit from another world. Ling Xiao looked at the screen full of gossip and couldn't laugh or cry. It turned out that she had also become the protagonist. underscore 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 un. Chapter 14 The Conspiracy of the Enemy Country. The enemy princess, Ning Yu, finally appeared again. She brought heavy enemy troops and claimed to escort Ling Xiao. The melon-eating system was immediately revealed. Ning Yu actually coveted the power of spiritual fire and wanted to take her body. When Ling Xiao heard this, he sneered and said nothing. Shen Viang simply believed part of Ning Yu's words and fell into hesitation. Ling Xiao's heart was slightly sour, but he didn't reveal it, just waited and watched the changes. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 15 The Game of Destiny. The system suddenly pops up a hidden mission. If you want to reshape your complete body, you need to collect 7 seals of destiny. Ling Xiao looked at the mission interface, and his heart sank. The 7 seals of fate are scattered in the rivers and lakes, and each one involves countless bloody storms. She looked at Shen Viang at hand and murmured softly, "Boy, are you ready?" Underscore 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 un. Chapter 16 The First Search for the Seal of Life. It is rumored that the first seal of fate is hidden in the ancient city of flowing shadows. The city has long been abandoned, and ghost fires are rampant at night. Ling Xiao walked with Shen Viang, and Ning Yu also followed secretly. After entering the ancient city, Ling Xiao's melon-eating system began to prompt wildly. The ancient city is made of 10,000 corpses, and the mark is hidden in the tomb of the city lord. As night fell, the door of the ancient tomb opened with a bang, and a long howl shattered the city wall. The real test came. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 17 The Tomb of the Corpse King. The black air surged in the tomb, and the Corpse King was entrenched in it. Shen Viang fought hard, but gradually lost the battle. Ling Xiao held the spiritual fire in her hand and forcibly suppressed it, but she soon discovered that there was a faint familiar aura emanating from the Corpse King. The system whispered. The Corpse King was originally a general of the previous dynasty, was falsely accused of treason, and became a demon after his death. Ling Xiao was silent, and finally reached out to touch the Corpse King's eyebrows, purifying it with spiritual fire. The Corpse King cried bitterly, and his body turned to ashes, leaving only the first seal of fate. Her heart was sour. Behind the melon, there was blood and tears. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 18 Cracks begin to appear. Ling Xiao accepted the seal of life, but Shen Viang's eyes became more and more complicated when he looked at her. Ning Yu gritted her teeth secretly, and her fear of Ling Xiao deepened. At night, Ling Xiao activated the melon-eating function, but captured a line of terrifying information. If the 7 life seals are united, the ultimate judgment will be started, reshaping or annihilation. She laughed in a daze. Why is this golden finger getting more and more pitted? Underscore 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 un. Chapter 19 Streamer Illusion. The second seal of fate is hidden in the streamer illusion. In the illusion, everything is false, and it is difficult to distinguish between true and false. Shen Viang was almost lost, and Ling Xiao used spiritual fire to break the illusion. She was shocked to find that in the depths of the fantasy realm, there was actually an afterimage of her past life, herself who worked overtime until she died. The system reminded in a cold voice, destiny has its own loop, and the instrument spirit should not exist in this world. Ling Xiao's heart was shaken, but he sneered stubbornly, my mother has died once, who dares to force me again? Underscore 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 un. Chapter 20 The illusion collapses. The illusion self-destructed, the streamer dissipated, and the second life seal fell into Ling Xiao's palm. But her face was pale, and her eyes were faintly flashing with black flames. Shen Viang supported her worriedly, but his palm was burned by the spiritual fire. He didn't let go, but smiled and said, since it's fate, then I'll go with you. Ling Xiao's eye was stunned, and his chest warmed inexplicably. She finally understood that this silly boy was not only the son of luck, but also her bond. Chapter 21 Wind and Snow in the North. Find clues to the third seal of fate and lead Ling Xiao and Shen Viang to the north. The mountains here have been closed by ice and snow for many years, and the wasteland is isolated. It is rumored that the imprint is hidden in the altar of the royal family in the north. As soon as Ling Xiao stepped into the snowfield, the melon-eating function immediately flashed. The northern court is secretly colluding with the remnants of the demon fetus to exchange the altar for eternal power. Ling Xiao's heart sank. This trip, I'm afraid it will be stained with ice and snow. Chapter 22 The Royal Altar. In the main hall of the Northern Realm, the silver-haired old king sits on the throne. Shen Biang was greeted with a guest courtesy, but Ling Xiao keenly caught another barrage. Lao Wang has long since died, and now Wang is a puppet with a remnant soul as his body. She was cold all over, but she couldn't hold back, and only whispered a warning in Shen Biang's ear. Wei Yang's heart was shocked, and the sword in his hand tightened a little. That night, the altar seal was opened, ice chips flew over, and a black gas soared into the sky. Chapter 23 The Battle of Black Snow. The remnant soul puppet turned into a giant shadow, and the entire altar collapsed. The soldiers of the northern border knelt down and shouted, their eyes empty. The spiritual fire ignited at night, and the sky-high flames collided with the black snow, reflecting the heavens and the earth into eerie red and white. Shen Biang charged bravely, his sword energy cut through the puppet's body, but he saw colorful light emerging from the depths of the altar, the third seal of fate. Ling Xiao stretched out his hand to collect it, his energy soared, but he heard the cold voice of the system, get 4 more, judgment will come. Chapter 24 Blood and Covenant. After the war, the northern royal court was devastated. The surviving prince knelt down and bowed his head, willing to repay half of the country. Ling Xiao shook his head, his eyes fell on Shen Biang. What we want is not the country, but the future. At night, she activated the melon-eating function, but captured Ning Yu's movements. Ning Yu has signed a contract with the demon fetus remnant soul and obtained the forbidden power. Ling Xiao was silent for a long time, and for the first time in her heart, she felt an imminent threat. Chapter 25 The Ancient Sand of the Western Desert. The clue of the fourth life seal points to the Western Desert. Thousands of miles of yellow sand, the ruins of ancient countries are buried under the sand dunes. Ling Xiao and Shen Biang walked in the sea of sand for several days and finally saw a collapsed pyramid. System prompt, the God King of the Sand Kingdom is buried here, and the seal of life is hidden in his heart. The wind and sand covered his face, and Ling Xiao's heart was faintly uneasy. This battle is probably to deal with the remnants of the ancient gods. Chapter 26 The God King Awakens. As the sarcophagus cracked open, a towering figure slowly rose. Its eyes were like candles, and its golden armor illuminated the desert. Shen Biang stepped forward to meet him, but was sent flying back several feet by a palm strike. Ling Xiao suddenly ignited his spiritual fire, and the system screen flashed simultaneously. The Divine King's lingering thoughts conceal a great sorrow, and he intends to defend his kingdom with his death. She gritted her teeth and rushed forward, tearing the illusion with flames and seeing the chains deep in the soul of the God King. Finally, she shouted in a low voice, "You have been guarding for 1,000 years, it's time to rest." The spiritual fire broke the lock, and the God King sighed and turned into dust. The fourth life seal appeared in the wind. Chapter 27 Betrayal in the Quicksand. When the seal of life was in hand, Ning Yu suddenly appeared. Her face was pale, but she exuded a terrifying demonic aura, and sneered, "Ling Xiao, hand over the seal of life." Shen Biang immediately stood in front of her. The two sides were at a stalemate, and suddenly the sand dunes collapsed, and a large number of demon fetus resentful spirits poured out, engulfing the three of them together. Ling Xiao only felt that the heavens and the earth were turned upside down and fell into the dark abyss. Chapter 28 Abyssal Illusion. When she opened her eyes, she found that she and Shen Biang were trapped in the abyssal illusion. There was no end here, and countless illusions were coming. The melon-eating system flashed. This illusion is built by the remnants of the demon fetus, intending to divide your hearts. In the illusion, Ling Xiao saw himself transformed into a world-destroying demon spirit and killed Shen Viang with his own hands. Her heart hurt so much that she almost believed it. It was Shen Viang who stretched out his hand and held her tightly, and said in a low voice, "Whether it is true or not, I believe you." The illusion shattered with a bang, and the abyss trembled. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 29 Escape. The two of them worked together to break the illusion with spiritual fire and sword energy. The black mist dissipated, and they finally returned to the sea of sand. Ning Yu disappeared, leaving only a cold voice echoing in the wind, "Next time, I will never let go." Ling Xiaoqiu stared into the distance, his heart heavy. With the 4 life seals in hand, the shadow of judgment is getting closer and closer. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 30 Intertwined Fates. The rivers and lakes are back in turmoil. The news spread all over the world. Ling Xiao and Shen Viang have obtained 4 seals of fate. All forces are flocking to each other, either to seize or to form an alliance. Ling Xiao turned on the melon-eating function again, and the screen exploded with news. The East China Sea Dragon clan also covets the life seal. The Imperial Court has issued a secret order to regard Ling Xiao as the root of evil. Ning Yu is planning a shocking blood sacrifice. Ling Xiao looked at Shen Viang with firm eyes. "No matter how difficult this road is, we have to go on." Shen Viang nodded, his eyes hotter than the flames. "With you, I am not afraid." Chapter 31 The East China Sea is turbulent. The clue of the 5th seal of fate pointed to the East Sea Dragon clan. Legend has it that the heart of the tides is suppressed deep in the Dragon Palace, which is the transformation of the Destiny Seal. Ling Xiao and Shen Viang took a boat out to sea. The waves were monstrous, and the clouds were overwhelming. The melon-eating system flashed. The Dragon King knows your whereabouts and is plotting to imprison the human race in order to take the seal of life. Ling Xiao held the spiritual fire tightly and said secretly, "This time, I am afraid that I will have to confront the real dragon head-on." Underscore 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 un. Chapter 32 Dragon Palace Illusion. The East China Sea Dragon Palace is resplendent in splendor, yet harbors a murderous aura. The Dragon King hosts a feast of song and dance, his sleeves fluttering in the air, a magical illusion. Ling Xiao snorts, a flash of spiritual fire shatters the illusion, and the dragons in the palace bare their fangs. Shen Viang stands with his sword, fighting alongside Ling Xiao. Just as the swords and fires were intertwined, a heartbeat was heard from the depths of the sea. It was the call of the heart of the tides. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 33 The Heart of the Tides. The hull cracked, and the sea poured out, revealing a heart vein like a giant pearl. Ling Xiao stretched out his hand to take it, but was stopped by the Dragon King's giant palm. Eating melon system prompt, there is a reverse scale crack hidden in the Dragon King's body, which was cursed 700 years ago. Ling Xiao changed his mind and suddenly lit the spiritual fire to attack the Dragon King's chest. Sure enough, it hit the key point. The Dragon King wailed, the chain broke, and the heart of the tide flew into Ling Xiao's palm. The 5th seal of life, get it? Underscore 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 un. Chapter 34 The Tsunami Return. The Dragon Palace collapsed and the tsunami surged. Ling Xiao and Shen Viang broke through the waves and finally returned to the shore. She looked down at the life seal in her hand, but her heart was heavy. If you get 2 more, judgment will come. But she still didn't know what the judgment meant. At night, she activated the melon-eating function, but only caught a vague line of words. The end is already waiting. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 35 Secret Orders of the Imperial Court. Back in the Central Plains, the Imperial Court suddenly ordered Ling Xiao and Shen Viang to be arrested. The city proclaimed that she was the bane of evil. Ling Xiao sneered, "It turns out that the Emperor of the mortal world can't sit still." The melon-eating system broke the news. The current emperor is secretly eroded by the remnants of the demon fetus and is gradually becoming a puppet. Her heart was cold. It turns out that even the imperial court has fallen into this game of fate. underscore 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 un. Chapter 36 Infiltrating the Imperial City. To uncover the truth, Ling Xiao and Shen Viang ventured into the Imperial City at night. The candle light in the Golden Throne Hall flickered, and the Emperor sat on the Dragon Throne with a blank look in his eyes. Just as Ling Xiao was about to approach, a man in black suddenly blocked his path. The eating melon system flashed. This man is the head of the Imperial Secret Guard, but he has been secretly controlled by Ning Yu. Ling Xiao smiled coldly. Sure enough, there is her shadow everywhere. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 37 Under the Dragon Chair. In the fierce battle, Shen Viang used his sword to lift the secret guard mask, and suddenly saw the man's eyes scarlet and spit out magic words. The Ling Xiao sacrifice lit a spiritual fire and burned it to ashes. A heart-wrenching roar suddenly sounded in the hall, and the Emperor struggled to the ground, his forehead cracked with a black slit. From the gap, the sixth seal of fate slowly crawled out. Ling Xiao accepted it tremblingly, and the pressure in her heart was as heavy as a mountain. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 38 The people's hearts are floating. The Emperor was in a coma, and the court was in chaos. The local lords took advantage of the situation and rose up, and the people were in a state of panic. Rumors spread in the streets and alleys, and everyone was talking about the spirit girl Ling Xiao. There were praises, slanders, and fears. Ling Xiao turned on the eating melon function, and the screen was full of scrolling. A certain prince wants to establish a new emperor. Some monks in temples claimed that Ling Xiao was a punishment from heaven. The heroes of the rivers and lakes are secretly gathering to compete for the final seal of life. She knew in her heart that this was not only her calamity, but also a watershed in the world. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 39 Ning Yu's blood sacrifice. The news came. Ning Yu held a blood sacrifice in the southern border, wanting to use the lives of thousands of people as a guide to summon the remnants of the demon fetus to return completely. The last seal of life is in that altar. Ling Xiao's face turned pale, but he did not hesitate. She must be stopped. Shen Viang held her hand tightly, nodded and said, life and death. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 40 The Southern Border Altar. Deep in the jungles of southern Xinjiang, a river of blood meandered. On the altar, Ning Yu, draped in red, her eyes bloodshot. She glared down at Ling Xiao and Shen Viang, her voice echoing like a ghost. The seven seals have become one, and only I will achieve eternity. The melon-eating system flashed wildly, warning, the final judgment is about to begin. Ling Xiao's whole body was full of spiritual fire, and his eyes were like torches. Then let fate see if we can choose for ourselves. Chapter 41 The Battle of the Seven Seals. The blood mist on the altar of the southern border surged. Ling Xiao and Shen Viang stepped into it, and the seven life seals had already gathered. Ning Yu raised her hands high, her demonic aura overwhelming, and she chanted an ancient curse in her mouth. The melon-eating system flashed. The seven seals are one, which will attract the ultimate judge. Ling Xiao's heart was cold, and she understood that this was the final battle. She raised fire to fight, and the spiritual fire and blood mist shocked the heavens and the earth. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 42 The system is shaken. The battle was in full swing, and the system in Ling Xiao's mind suddenly trembled violently, and his voice was broken. Wrong. Error. This host, beyond the rules. She was shocked, but she was still staring at Ning Yu. Suddenly, another line of words burst out from the system light screen. The judge has arrived. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 43 The judge appears. The sky cracked, and a silver-white giant shadow fell from the void. It is not a man or a god, but a figure woven by countless laws. It has no emotion, and its voice is as indifferent as iron. Seven seals are one, the world must be restarted. Ning Yu laughed wildly, the eternity belongs to me. Ling Xiao lit a fire and shouted, I want to choose my own destiny. Chapter 44 Blood and fire are intertwined. Ningyu's blood sacrifice power turned into a 1,000-foot demonic shadow. Ling Xiao and Shen Viang joined forces to fight with fire and sword. The melon-eating system suddenly lost control completely at this moment, and the screen was full of garbled characters, number % trial core interference number world data collapse number. Ling Xiao's heart burned. She understood that she and the system were of the same origin, and now her struggle was rewriting the rules. Chapter 45 Spiritual Fire Incarnation. At the moment when the blood shadow was overwhelmed, Ling Xiao let go of all restraints, and the entire spirit origin burned into a raging spiritual fire. Her body was as transparent as glass, turning into the only light between heaven and earth. Shen Viang had tears in his eyes, but he never took a step back. Xiao'er, I'm here. The flames rolled up, tearing the blood shadow apart and colliding head-on with the Inquisitor. Chapter 46 Fate Reversal. Flames burned through the law, and the figure of the judge shook for the first time. The melon-eating system suddenly returned to clarity, and his voice was low. The host already has the right to modify. Does it overwrite the fate? Ling Xiao closed his eyes and said firmly, I want to choose the continuation of human nature, not the restart of reincarnation. The light surged, illuminating the entire southern border into daylight. Chapter 47 Ningyu's End. The light dissipated, Ningyu knelt on the ground, and the demonic energy collapsed. She burst into tears and whispered, Why, you can always get all I have ever dreamed of. Ling Xiao stepped forward and said softly, Because I choose to protect, and you only choose to possess. Ningyu's figure turned into dust and disappeared with the wind. Chapter 48 The World Awakens. The 7 seals shattered, transforming into 7 beams of light that soared across the vast expanse of space. The miasma between heaven and earth dissipated, and the mountains and rivers became clear and bright. The common people looked up, beholding a night sky filled with glittering stars, as if a long-awaited dawn had returned. The civil strife in the imperial court ceased, the dragons returned to the sea, the northern border was reborn, and the western desert began to sprout green. Ling Xiao's body swayed, turning into translucent light and shadow. Chapter 49 Spiritual Fire Rebirth. Shen Viang hugged her, his voice trembling, Xiao'er, don't go. The melon-eating system sounded for the last time, the energy is full, is it reshaping the human body? Ling Xiao smiled slightly and said in a low voice, I think this is my choice. The light enveloped her, and after a while, a fresh body fell into Shen Viang's arms, warm and soft, she was finally reborn as a human being. Chapter 50 Spiritual Fire and Human Hearts. The wind died down and the clouds parted, revealing only the ruins of the southern border altar. Ling Xiao and Shen Viang walked down from the altar hand in hand. The people gathered, shouting in unison, Spirit Fire Saintess. Ling Xiao shook her head and responded with a smile, I am not a saint, I am just a woman who eats melons until the end and decides to protect all living beings. Shen Viang took her hand, and the two looked at each other and smiled. Heaven and earth are stable, and all things are reborn. The spiritual fire is no longer judgment, but the fire of hope.